Hey guys, what's up? I did not do my Raw review last night. I did take notes during the show. I had every intention of doing a Raw review, but by the time the show was over, and as anybody who's seen more of my videos knows, I've been doing ridiculous overtime recently, and just it wasn't happening. I had every intention of doing it today, but you know, day late, a dollar short didn't seem the thing to do. What I do want to do, and I hope you guys will forgive me a little bit of a ramble. I want to take a step back from a lot of the criticism that a lot of people in the YWC are doing to wrestling in general, but especially the WWE, myself included. We've really made complaining about WWE, the sport, the thing to do. We've made being a fan about pointing out everything that's wrong, everything we don't like about wrestling, and it's easy. It's easy to get all twisted up and into a rant and into what WWE should be doing, but at the end of the day, we're not the ones there doing it. We're not the ones, you know, trying to make it all work. I'll give you guys a little bit of a preview. I have something coming up around Christmas time. I have a fantasy booking video that's going to be coming out around Christmas time, because not to spoil it, but that I've been working on it for a while, and that is going to be my Christmas present to you guys. So so I hope you enjoy that. But my point being, it takes into account maybe 2 or 3 wrestlers over a short amount of time and whatnot. Now, the guys in the WWE are, you know, they've got a roster of what, like 50 guys, and not everything they do is going to be gold. We're really hard on them. Some of it is deserved. Some of the shit that they do is absolutely ridiculous beyond any reasonable explanation, and some of it is just people here in the YWC, like I say, myself included, just ranting because we're not getting our way. Now, if you line 5 people up in a match that consists of 2 people, unless they all agree on who should win, somebody's going to be disappointed, somebody's going to be pissed off, and somebody is going to be cheering their heart out. Now, whether that person is, you know, a fan of CM Punk or a fan of Hornswoggle, they deserve that, the chance to do it without the bearing down of the rest of the group. But this is not about the YWC arguing with each other. This is about the YWC and how they... Oh, dear, I've just lost a whole bunch of lighting. There we go. Yes. We have stupid shit in the WWE. We have Cena, who you guys know I'm not a fan of. We have Kelly, who you guys definitely know I'm not a fan of, which branches off into my issues with Preston, but I'm not going there. We have redonkulous, boring shit like Hornswoggle and the Great Khali, but there's also a lot of good. And when you say, you know, WWE's in the shitter, it's pretty harsh, isn't it? Now, when it comes to, you know, judging the WWE, judging anybody, well, TNA even, because TNA has its high points as much as people, you know, as much as it's become the cliche thing, the hip-in-style thing to do to bash TNA. TNA has a hell of a lot of high points, too. If Jeff Hardy stays clean, like I've said in the past, this could be the greatest recovery story in wrestling history, but that's another thing for another time. I'm going to focus mostly on WWE in this video because it's what more people on here are talking about. I've always said everybody has a different way of gauging what's good, what's bad, etc., etc., etc. I'm welcoming you guys right now. Tell me down in the box below, how do you decide what's good, what's bad? Is it just what entertains you? Do you sit back and analyze it? Do you talk about in-ring work? Do you talk about promo skills? Do you talk about the combination of both, etc., etc., etc.? One of the main sort of internal guidelines I've always used as a guide to sort of gauge what's good and what's bad, I ask myself, whatever I just saw, whether it was a segment, a promo, a match, a pay-per-view, whatever, would I show that piece, whatever, that clip, to a non-wrestling fan and say, this is why I love wrestling? And despite the, you know, the faces of the WWE, the Cenas and the Kellys and whatnot, there's a lot of things that have made me, you know, say, yes, made me point at my screen, made me point at my VCR, my DVD player, and say, that's why I'm a wrestling fan. The reason I bring this up is most notably in the past 2 days we have had two tremendous matches. We had CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio at Survivor Series, which stole the show like I knew it would. And then out of nowhere we had a ridiculously great champion versus champion match, CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler. Those are only two examples. Orton's rivalry with CM Punk leading into WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes' amazing performance at Mania against Rey Mysterio, Edge's last match in the WWE against Alberto Del Rio at WrestleMania, The Miz's rivalry with Daniel Bryan way back, The Miz's rivalry with Alex Riley, short-lived as it was, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton's recent work, especially on SmackDown, which I really hope goes somewhere. Those are all things where I can sit back and say, that's why I'm a wrestling fan. Those are the things, and I hope to have the opportunity at some point. I've talked to some of my friends that aren't wrestling fans to have them on my channel at some point and give the non-wrestling fan point of view of a major pay-per-view. I hope to do it for WrestleMania. I hope to do it for the Royal Rumble at least. No promises, but it is in the works. It's something I really want to do because I think it'll be really interesting. But those are the matches that I want to say, you know, this is why I'm a wrestling fan. Everything that led up to Miz winning the WWE Championship falls into that category. Randy Orton's rivalries this summer with Christian, for sure. Randy Orton is a prime example of why I say I'm proud to be a wrestling fan. Only because in the moment we are in right now, as much as people say that Randy Orton is another John Cena and will not put anybody else over and is selfish and is a hot shotter and all that sort of thing, you can't deny in the past little while, especially in his rivalry with Cody Rhodes, every time those two guys get in the ring, Randy Orton is on a mission to make Cody Rhodes look good. And it's good to see, and you've got people coming together, like I said, CM Punk and Orton at Mania, when you have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton on SmackDown, not even a pay-per-view, giving pay-per-view quality wrestling matches. Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk, who don't even necessarily have a feud, thrown together seemingly on Raw just last night, and without any build, without any feud, without any story, just sat and cranked out a great match that was a good 20 minutes long. If we see that match again in a month or 2 months, or even at Mania, I wouldn't mind seeing a World Championship match between CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler. I would have no problem at all paying my money for WrestleMania to see that match. Same thing, SmackDown. At this point, because I believe they're both at that level, I would not mind paying dollars and cents to see Rhodes and Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship. I would not mind it in the slightest. You've got a whole crop of great guys that are breaking through, and they're ready to be those next main event guys. Prime example, Dolph Ziggler. We know any day now he's going to pass on that U.S. title to Zack Ryder, because he's ready to be that mid-card champion that will take that belt and run with it. Cody Rhodes is taking the Intercontinental Championship and running with it like a champ, like nobody has with the Intercontinental Championship in a hell of a long time. When Ziggler does drop that belt to Ryder, you know the only place he's going is up. Now that the Awesome Truth have broken up, The Miz is only going to be on his way up. I'm sorry, R-Truth and him doing the tag team thing for a little while was awesome, but you had to get rid of R-Truth at some point and put Miz back in that title picture. We're going to have, now that Cena seemingly is out of the title picture for a while, we've got a little bit more unpredictability back in the WWE title hunt, the World Wrestling Entertainment Championship hunt. You've got CM Punk as our champion, which better last a long time, but you've got Alberto Del Rio still at his heels. You've got The Miz, who is ready any day now to assume that championship spot. The Miz was in the main event at WrestleMania last year with the face of the company and one of the most famous wrestlers of all time, and did not look at all out of place. Dolph Ziggler is the next guy to take that spot. for sure. On SmackDown, like I say, you've got Daniel Bryan, who, no, he doesn't have the greatest promo skills in the world. He doesn't have the greatest character in the world. And I think that almost Chris Benoit style works in his advantage, because he is a wrestler, pure and simple, and the simplicity of that is absolutely beautiful. With what Cody Rhodes, sorry guys, has done for the Intercontinental Championship, he will do for the World Heavyweight Championship one day. If it hasn't happened by the end of next year, I will be extremely surprised. Catching my breath. Cena is not the be-all and end-all of wrestling. Much as I hate to say it because I'm a big fan, Orton is not the be-all and end-all of wrestling. Cena will be gone one day. Orton will be gone one day. Triple H has got 1.5 feet out the door. Same thing with The Undertaker. I hate to say it. Shawn Michaels retired. Edge had to retire because of injury. Bret Hart left a while ago. Some of the most loved wrestlers are dropping like flies. We just had the 6th anniversary of Eddie Guerrero's passing. Randy Savage just passed away. All these things. That top tier where Cena and Orton are, where they don't need a belt anymore because they have surpassed the level of being the champion, if possible, is the last step on the journey before you move on to something else. We've got a solid crop of good talent that WWE is starting to use really, really well. So, getting back to my question, would you look at what you just saw, show it to a non-wrestling fan, and say, that's why I'm proud to be a wrestling fan? Hell yes. Yes, I would. Are there flaws? Are there blemishes on that gold? Of course there are. There always will be. But that gold that we call the WWE, that we call pro wrestling, is shining as bright as it ever has. We all need to lighten up. We all need to give it a second chance. We need to give the second wave of talent, the second wave of main eventers, the second wave of good, strong mid-carders a chance. I think I'm done. I think that's all I had to say. There won't be a Raw review this week. The moment is pretty much past for me to do a Raw review. Anybody else that has anything else to say about Raw already has. I've said a lot. I've said a lot of things that a lot of people might not agree with in this 12-minute and 34, 35, 36 second video. I really, really hope that you guys think about what I've had to say. I really hope that whether you agree with me or whether you totally think I'm off my rocker, say something in the comment section. Start a conversation. Pass this video on. Pass this video on to somebody that you think is losing or has lost faith in pro wrestling, who has forgotten what it was like to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, flip on your TV early Saturday morning and cheer whoever the hell you wanted, whether it was Hulk Hogan or whether it was the gobbledygooker. Find your fan that didn't care whether it was good or not, and recognize that it still is. I've been Spaz. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, don't be a stranger, and I will talk to all you guys next week. Bye.